Hello, brothers and sisters. It is November 29th, 2016. So, I was doing some cleaning up and some throwing away, cleaning house, and I came across some old letters that I wrote to God. See, real quick, just a quick background. I grew up going to church. But around my teenage years, I fell away from the Lord. And I saw people slain out in the Holy Spirit, not understanding what it was and why, because I really wasn't taught that from what I remember. I was broken and I was hurt. I went through, I went through some things as a child and in my childhood, and it caused me to have anger, and it didn't allow me to open up completely to the Lord because I was hurt. So in my teenage years, I started using drugs, and so when you're using drugs, you don't really want to be going to church. And then I saw people slain in the spirit, and then that's when the enemy was like, yep, that's the reason. And so, not understanding the gifts of the Holy Spirit and the manifestation of the Holy Spirit, I turned away. And I went down my own way, doing my own thing for a few years, actually, for quite a while. But then, those who raise their children up in the right way in the Lord, when they get older, they will not depart from it. They will return back to the Father. They will return back to their first love. And I did. And come to realize, even when I turned away from God, I was in the most deepest, darkest place. I thought I was, but I've been deeper and darker. But at that time, I was in a really dark place. And yet, Jesus reached out to me and sent me a messenger, an angel, to tell me that he loved me. And I was in a 4-year abusive relationship, physical abuse, and I was just feeling really down and broken. And, I numbed myself because of the pain that I went through, and I allowed myself to go through because I didn't know who God was, and I was filling myself with everything but the truth, everything but the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. And even then, Jesus said he loved me. And he took time to send an angel, a messenger, to tell me that. And when she said that to me, at that moment, I was filled with the Holy Spirit. Not realizing it at the time, I was still stuck in a bondage that I couldn't get out of. And to be honest, it wasn't until about 10, 11 years after that, I was set free. So, it was a struggle. But after that, like maybe in my early 20s, I did return back to the Father. And something I've always done was I would write God letters. And these are just some of the letters that I found. And I noticed here I wasn't praying anything for me. I was praying for my mom and for others. And I thought that was really, really awesome. And then, so in this letter it says, Father of mine in heaven above, thou be thy name. I pray, Lord, for protection and prosperity over my mom, who works hard day in and day out. I pray for my marriage to be blessed with love and honesty at all times. And this one says, I pray for the strength to be released from this bondage for Scotty and I. And then, and it just goes to show, how I just loved the Lord, and I treated him as if he was my best friend, as, dear Lord. And I even do that to this day. I write God letters, and I'm teaching my kids to write God letters, because that's what he is. He is real. He is alive, and he goes with us throughout our day. He wants to be acknowledged, and he is a glorious God. And so I just wanted to share that with you, of something that I found. And, that's just something I do. Something else I found too that is, I think, really cool. We all go through trials and tribulations in our lives. And so here are some emergency numbers that you can call on when you are in sorrow. Call John 14. When men fail you, call Psalm 27. When you have sinned, call Psalm 51. When you worry, call Matthew 6:19-34. When you are in danger, call Psalm 91. When God seems far away, call Psalm 139. When your faith needs stirring, call Hebrews 11. When you are lonely and fearful, call Psalm 23. When you grow bitter and critical, call 1 Corinthians 13. When you feel down and out, call Romans 8:31. When you want peace and rest, call Matthew 11:25-30. When the world seems bigger than God, call Psalm 90. When you want Christian assurance, call Romans 8:1-30. When you leave home for labor or travel, call Psalm 121. When your prayers grow narrow or selfish, call Psalm. When you want courage for a task, call Joshua 1. When you think of investments and returns, call Mark 10. If you are depressed, call Psalm 27. If your pocketbook is empty, call Psalm 37. If you are losing confidence in people, call 1 Corinthians 13. If people seem unkind, call John 15. If discouraged about your work, call Psalm 126. If self-pride and greatness takes hold, call Psalm 19. If you want to be fruitful, call John 15. For understanding of Christianity, call 2 Corinthians 5:15-19. For a great invention opportunity, call Isaiah 55. For how to get along with fellow men, call Romans 12. For Paul's secret to happiness, call Colossians 3:12. And some other numbers you can call. For dealing with fear, call Psalm 347. For security, Psalm 121:3. For assurance, call Mark 8:35. For reassurance, call Psalm 145:18. And these numbers, they're open 24 hours a day. They are never numbers may be dialed direct. No operator assistance is necessary. All lines to heaven are open 24 hours a day. Feed your faith, and doubt will starve to death. So that's all I wanted to share with you, brothers and sisters. I pray that you will be doing some calling. I know I will be myself. So I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.